All right. What's up, everybody? Such calming music to get us started today. I like it. It's like a nice calm before the storm, because I gotta tell you, we have got some amazing matches today. If you know anybody in the world of 3D CAD, this is definitely the time to grab the link to this video, to this live stream, and send it out to them. Any coworkers or anybody that you know that likes 3D CAD, because we've got some absolute titans running today. Any one of these four gentlemen could make it to the finals and actually take down the championship. And in fact, one of them already has in the past, has made it to the finals multiple times, has won a world championship. So this is a really exciting day of matchups. We got some SolidWorks versus SolidWorks action happening. We got some SolidWorks versus Inventor action happening. We got a bunch of people in the chat. What is up? We got Tom Schnars in the chat. Says, let's go. I'm excited for this round. Yes, I am very excited for this round as well. Tom Schnars. We got Christian Blanc in the chat. Must be Saturday morning because I'm here. Hello from the US. What's up, Chris? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Stryker is here in the chat. We got Gary Bruce. We got Jed Hightower in the chat. What is up? We got Jurgen Shad. Greetings from Germany. I wish to participate. I wish all participants good luck and at a steady hand. That's wonderful. Procky is here. What's up? What's up? Ivan the Reasonable in the chat and running today, saying good morning to all. GG and GL. I like it. I like it. I like it. Todd Blackshore is here. He did commentary with me a few weeks ago. It was awesome. Fan favorite for sure. Tayfun is here in the chat from Australia. Welcome, welcome. We got Victor K in the chat, who's actually running today. We got Der Merlin 63. Hello from Germany. Hello, Der Merlin. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. And we got Tracy Chadwick running and in the chat today. We got Victor K running and in the chat today. Just kind of going up through. Will from Brazil is here in the chat and running today. We got a bunch of people here in the chat. Omri is here, says hello from Israel. Welcome, Omri. Great seeing you in here again. Thanks for joining us. And Ali Amore is here. And guys, Ali is famous for running the Too Tall Toby leaderboard challenges in SolidWorks. He teaches SolidWorks classes, and so he knows all of the shortcuts, all the best ways to navigate through the keyboard and through the mouse. And he just posted a run just this week, under 3 minutes. Doing 3 models in under 3 minutes. So if you want to watch one of the fastest SolidWorks runners in the world running 3 models in under 3 minutes, maybe you could pick up on some shortcuts, some tips and tricks on how to navigate SolidWorks. Check out tootalltoby.com/leaderboard. You can watch Ali Amore's run. He's up near the top. I'm not going to say if he's at the top or not, but he's definitely up near the top on that leaderboard run. So thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. Sec347 here from Lansdale. Hello from Lansdale. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. If I'm not mistaken, that's Mr. K. Welcome, Mr. K. Thanks for joining us. Local on-shape instructor, helping out the future generations, making sure that they know everything they need to know about on-shape so they can get out into the workplace and lock down a good job. Jason Coley is here, says, let's get ready to rumble. I agree. Welcome. Wick Skateya says, hey, what's up, Wick? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure I nailed it with that screen name. All right, and X Machina Engineering is here, and I was waiting for X Machining Engineering to get here before we could officially get started, but now it is officially a Saturday live stream. Superlicious Dude is here as well. Welcome. Guys, this is an exciting day, and we really have the perfect co-host to join us for this exciting day. So let's flip it over here. Let's welcome to the stage none other than Chris Castle from SolidBox. Welcome, Chris. Thanks so much for joining us. So good to see you here today. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing so good, and thank you for having me on. I love this place. I love the people here. Yeah, this is the best. The chat's great. It's blowing up already.
Yeah, this is an exciting time. I think everybody knows that this is gonna be one of the big ones. You know, we got a lot of people running today. We got Will from Brazil, who's just been absolutely crushing it on the Model Monday live episode. So when we challenge the chat and we say, hey, who's the fastest in the chat? Will, over and over again, week after week, scoop, meaning he's winning both of them. He's winning the first challenge and the second challenge week after week after week. So I think everybody's really excited to see how he does against Victor K, who's kind of a, you know, an old experienced runner. You know, Victor K has been not old in terms of age, but Victor K is very experienced, a veteran. That's the word I was looking for, a veteran runner of these tournaments. Victor K has been running these tournaments now for a couple of years, really knows what's going on, really knows what to expect. And so, you know, we're excited to see that matchup between Will and Victor K. We're actually going to do that matchup first today. So the first match is going to be SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, and then the second matchup, man, Ivan, the reasonable Ivan, the Ivan exploit. This guy has an actual NFT that's been designed in his honor. The Ivan exploit is a term that we use all throughout the Too Tall Toby community. And Ivan is a former champion of this tournament, and he's going to be running against Tracy Chadwick, who's just been absolutely crushing it on the leaderboards, crushing it on the streets, doing a ton of practice. I saw him going through doing a bunch of practice models this week. So, you know, you can see that these runners are ready. They are prepared. They are ready.
Yeah, I'm stoked on this Ivan and Tracy lineup here today. This is going to be a good match. I'm glad you have it on the second part of the show today.
Yeah,
can't wait.
A great crescendo, great climax for today's show for sure. And guys, if you're not familiar with Chris's work, Chris has been supporting the SolidWorks community for many years. He's a SolidWorks expert, professional engineer. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Professional engineer, really knows his stuff, really can take any model, you know, anything that he sees, he could create it in 3D CAD. He could do some simulation on it, some flow simulation. This guy really, I think you're kind of humble with regards to your SolidWorks skills, but Chris really knows the software inside and out and runs a company called SolidBox, where you can get any of your hardware needs for professional 3D CAD or CAM. So if you need a new computer and you want to make sure that that computer is completely up to snuff, you know, a lot of times you buy a computer, I know for me this happens, you buy a computer and you get it and you start running it and you're like, this doesn't really work the way I thought it was gonna. Like I got all this, you know, super fast processor, the fastest RAM, I got the, you know, I got the fastest hard drive. Like everything should be working, so a way better video card, everything should be working the way that, you know, that I hoped it would, but it's not. It's still kind of like, I feel like there's just like a bunch of extra crap on this computer that I don't need. And that's what I really like about your team, Chris, is that you guys go through, you strip out all that bloatware, you go into the BIOS, you configure the BIOS so that, you know, if it's a laptop, the laptop always uses the most power for the graphics card. You don't get throttled at all. You don't get that like Intel speed step where it slows down the processor. You know, you guys really go through. Then you run, I think if I'm not mistaken, you run a custom build of Windows that has all of, you know, it's like the special SolidBox version of Windows that has all the bloatware stripped out. Just gives you what you want from a CAD workstation, which is performance, speed, and reliability.
Thank you so much for the plug, man. I appreciate that. It's I'm excited to say that we're beta testing a Windows 11 build right now.
Okay.
We're trying our best to de-Microsoft,
okay,
which is basically taking all the Big Brother stuff off of it, and make it specific for CAD users. There's so much tuning that you can do in Windows, especially to get the most out of something like SolidWorks. I'm playing with Alibre right now. I'm doing a little tune on that. I'm hoping that we can get it to be a little faster. It's already pretty fast. And you know, basically all the desktop CAD installs, we know them very well. We know CAM software really well. There's just so much you can do for the environment to get it to be a little bit faster. So it's funny, we love it. We've been doing it for 14 years, which is crazy. It's crazy. We started back in 2009 when Windows 7 came out. That's when I started the company.
Wow.
Because Windows 7 was really easy to tweak, and so we've been having fun ever since. And the best part is that when we send a computer off to somebody, our workstation shows up. We get to know those people pretty well, and then we very often we start to help those people with training and help them make the most out of SolidWorks, because it's pretty common that someone calls and says, I really need a new computer, and it's pretty common that we sell them away from a computer and towards just training, because often it's just the inefficiencies and bad techniques that make make the performance slow in a CAD software. So that's our method, you know, a combination of hardware and technique to give you the best experience with CAD.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I could definitely see that happening. You know, somebody comes to you and they're like, oh, my computer's so slow, and then you look at their assembly and maybe like they haven't really utilized proper assembly efficiency techniques, not really using sub-assemblies properly, maybe not using like up conversion properly. And so, you know, you could definitely see where training would actually be the culprit there, or the solution, more so than hardware. So that's really good to know that SolidBox not only offers the hardware solution, but also offers training and even consulting solutions, right?
Yeah, and if you want to work here, you have to be a CSWP at a minimum. You have to have several years of experience actually doing CAD work, right? And building parts. So so when you talk to somebody, you can really relate to them. And so that's my sales pitch. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll defer to the rest of the show for comments and stuff, but
yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew who you were and everybody knew kind of what SolidBox has to offer. You guys have been a great supporter of the Too Tall Toby community, of the CAD community for a long time. So I'm always happy to have you on here. And if you guys haven't had a chance to work with SolidBox yet, be sure to check them out, mysolidbox.com. They are a wonderful friend to the show. So let's get into it here. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing next. Guys, if you're here for the first time or if you've been here before, be sure to check out tootalltoby.com/calendar. You can add calendar appointments to your calendar for all of the upcoming events. That includes the link to the live stream. So check it out. You can see here that there's also a playlist at youtube.com/tootalltoby with all of the upcoming episodes. So if you want to make your own calendar appointment, you can add that. That way you never forget. We also have the new build of Too Tall Toby up and running. It is absolutely epic. You can sign up on there. You can get a free membership at tootalltoby.com. That's going to let you download some NFTs. It's going to let you download a PDF 10-pack of practice models. So if you can't get enough practice, this is yet another avenue you can go through to get some more practice. We also, I mentioned this earlier, on the leaderboard, we have the... on tootalltoby.com, we have tootalltoby.com/leaderboard. You can see here Alibre finishing that challenge with SolidWorks in 2 minutes 47 seconds, but there's somebody above him, Juiced, finishing in 2 minutes 31 seconds with ANSYS Space Claim. And it's just really cool here that you can see experts modeling the same 3 models with a number of different CAD systems. Plasticity made an appearance, a debut appearance this month. Build 123D from Jern there. We got a lot of Onshape users, a lot of SolidWorks users, CATIA V5 user. So you get a chance to really see how different experts use different CAD to create these same 3 models. So if you're ever out there, you're curious about what different CAD systems look like, check it out, www.tootalltoby.com/leaderboard. The leaderboard is up and running for September for I guess about 8 more hours, and then that leaderboard is going to close. We're going to announce a winner of the prize, which is going to be a t-shirt this month, and then we're going to get the October leaderboard up and running. So check that out for sure. We usually use the leaderboard to qualify for the tournament. That's what we did this year. The World Championship of 3D CAD Speed Modeling started out with 32 people running that leaderboard, qualifying for seats in this tournament. And you can see now that the black bracket is all just about worked out as far as the Elite 8. We got the Golden Spamfish running through on July 29th and September 16th and earning his seat in the round of 8. And today we're going to see the Ivan the Reasonable go up against Chadwick to see who gets into the Elite 8. That'll be the matchup on October 21st with the Golden Spamfish. I want to say thank you to the sponsor of the Black Bracket, Joko Engineering. Joko Engineering makes a lot of fun CAD videos, different CAD systems, Alibre, Onshape, FreeCAD. And if you don't know about Joko Engineering, then be sure to check them out. Joko will make all of your 3D CAD dreams come true. Demerlin is saying there's no FreeCAD. Well, Demerlin, hold your horses. If we go over here and we take a look at the blue bracket is sponsored by our friends at SolidBox, mysolidbox.com. Thank you so much, Chris and the team there. You can see here in the blue bracket, we've got none other than Juiced, the #1 seed in the tournament. And Demerlin, we can see that Juiced went up against Ricardo G in the first matchup. He was the FreeCAD user, the only FreeCAD user this tournament. So hopefully next tournament, we're going to get more FreeCAD users. But Juiced was able to lock that down. He also went up against a CATIA V5 user on September 16th. But once again, Juiced using ANSYS Space Claim was victorious. And now today, we're going to see Victor K going up against Will from Brazil. And we're going to see who wins that match and who moves on to the Elite 8, but then faces off against Juiced. So that is going to be really interesting. I think we've all been learning a lot watching Juiced, watching ANSYS Space Claim. I think we kind of have a good feel for what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are. And so I think it's going to be interesting how the Wheel of Fate works. When he was in his match, I'm not saying he's not a good user, but when he was in his match against Muhammad, he got the absolute ideal model when he locked it down, because it was a model that really requires laying out your design, and that's how he designs naturally. And sometimes that's what the wheel will give you. Sometimes you'll just get lucky and get the absolute ideal model. Sometimes you'll get a sheet metal model and you won't know how to use sheet metal, and you'll have to do it using thin features. So Now we move to the green bracket, and I want to say thank you to the sponsor of the green bracket, a brand new sponsor, Revopoint, www.revopoint3d. Revopoint creates some of the world's best 3D scanners, and their mission is really to make 3D scanners available for all engineers. They make some incredible products. They've been around for, I think, 14 years, or maybe founded in 2014. I think I have 14 on my mind because you said that earlier, Chris. But with Revopoint, what we're able to see here is that they are really trying to create 3D scanning products that are available for all engineers. And we're going to talk more about Revopoint in just a minute. So just put a thumbtack in that topic for just a moment. But I want to say thank you so much to Revopoint for being the sponsor of the green bracket. We can see that last week we had Aaron C going up against Jed, some SolidWorks versus SolidWorks violence. And it was Aaron C who was able to move on in that tournament. And now he will be in the Elite 8 going up against either Pranav from India or Jaush, the only inventor user left in the round of 16 here in the green bracket. But Jaush is the number 2 seed in the entire tournament. So he's going to be some pretty tough competition. And
this is looking so good.
Yeah, and we move over to the red bracket. Our red bracket is sponsored by Alibre, our friends at Alibre, who also have put up some prizes for this tournament. And the red bracket now features Imance, the on-shape runner, the brother of Alnus, who is currently the world champion. So that 3D CAD speed modeling must run in the family. But Imance is going to be facing off against either Jack Sato, maybe some on-shape versus on-shape action, or against Jihan Rafa from Egypt using SolidWorks. We are going to see what happens here. We got Eric Beatty in the chat saying, I love my Revopoint Range 3D scanner. Thank you, Eric. If you guys don't know Eric, he's a huge member of the SolidWorks community. Huge in terms of presence. That was meant in terms of presence, just to be clear, Eric. He's a wonderful member of the SolidWorks community. And he says, I love my Revopoint Range 3D scanner. Yes, Revopoint is a wonderful partner. I'm so glad to have them here with us. Ex Machina Engineering says, Revopoint stepping up is awesome. Yes, indeed. Striker says, Eric is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So what a tournament. A lot of people, a lot of organization going into this. Tournament started out with 32 runners and 4 on the waiting list, 15 countries represented, and 8 different CAD systems. But now we are halfway through the selection for the Elite 8, and we're down to just, I think, 8 countries and now just 4 CAD systems: ANSYS, Space Claim, Onshape, SolidWorks, and Inventor. So guys, let me know in the chat, which CAD system do you think is going to emerge victorious? Who do you think is going to take down the whole thing? It's going to be close. I mean, there are no clear winners. There are no clear front runners right now. It's definitely close.
Well, like Toby, I'm kind of embarrassed to say that, I've been using CAD since 1998, and I never saw Space Claim until your tournament. I hadn't seen a Alibre really in a long time till, your tournament. And it's great, man. It's great that, you can see these other CAD systems going head to head with these other, other pretty predominant CAD systems that are pretty expensive. And, you're seeing difference in the price range here and functionality, but just to see them head to head is, where else are you going to see it? This is the best place for it. So thank you for that. Thank you for exposing the world to like all these other products out there. I have a feeling, I have this premonition that there's going to be some companies putting together like these factory teams, like the motocross guys will have like Yamaha, and the big companies will have their fleet of riders that go out there and just, try to dominate all these races. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years we're here at the Too Tall Toby World Championships and we got all these hot shots, showing up and doing like live CAD.
Yeah, I think just, that the live events are really where we're gonna really start to see things change. I think it's gonna be so cool to see, to see the live events, to see the, people actually getting together in person. There's just a certain energy that occurs when you're together in person, and so I'm very excited to, to start having actual live in-person tournaments. We'll get people to come up on the stage. We'll get people to, to not just share their screens across the internet, but actually to be, right there on stage, feel the energy from the crowd. And so it's all coming next year. I mean, we got lots of good stuff coming up next year as far as live events goes. So we got lots of fun stuff coming for sure. But guys, if you like this,
that we were here in 2023,
yep.
the first or the originals.
We were here at the beginning, exactly.
Yeah.
So guys, if you like this kind of stuff, be sure to hit the like button. It looks like we got about 50 people watching. We got about 30 likes. So let's see what we can do to get that number to match up. We want to make sure that we have a like ratio to viewer ratio of 1 to 1. It's always good to have that. Engineering Mechanics is here. What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I saw Jorge is here as well. What's up, Jorge? Welcome. Thanks for joining us from Portugal. And Jamal Drew is here. Says Space Claim Bullions for the win. Very nice. Guys, you can also share and reshare, like I mentioned at the beginning. If you know people who are into CAD, grab a link to this video, to this live stream, share it out there. And you can also visit TooTallToby.com, sign up for a free account. And if you want to support, another way you can support is you can engage in what's called Super Chat. There's a little link down at the bottom of the chat where you can put in a credit card, send over a little tip, say, hey, Toby, this is really cool. I want to do what I can to support the channel. Send a few bucks our way. It really does make a difference and helps us to continue hosting these tournaments. And if you're watching the recording, you can use super thanks. So Super Chat, Super Thanks are enabled. The limited edition black Too Tall Toby t-shirts are almost sold out. There are still a few in inventory, so if you visit TooTallToby.com, there's a link up at the top of the page. These are indeed the softest shirts in the CAD game. They are also form-fitting. They make you look thinner, and they help you do CAD faster. So they really do it all. They keep you hydrated. They solve global hunger issues. These shirts really do it all. So check them out, TooTallToby.com. And of course, I want to say thank you to the team that is backing me up here, Mrs. Tall Toby, who helps with all the scheduling, and Bodie McBoatpants, my web dev guy, make sure that everything on the website side of things runs smoothly. So thank you so much. So the question that everybody always asks is there a prize? And there absolutely is a prize. What all of our runners are hoping to do is they're hoping to make it to November 11th, because all 4 of the runners, basically a champion from each bracket, are going to get paid on November 11th. We got a prize of $125 each for 3rd and 4th place. We got a prize of $250 for 2nd place. And we got a prize of $500 USD for 1st place. So very exciting here. That's a big chunk of change, especially depending on where you are in the world. That could have some serious purchasing power. But along the way, we've had some sponsors who have said, you know what, I want to put up some additional prizes. I really like what you guys are doing over there, Too Tall Toby. Let's get some additional prizes for these runners. And the first of that sponsor is Alibre. Alibre came in and said, look, I don't want it to just be the top 4 people. I want to give prizes to every single runner in this tournament. So we got to give a huge shout out to Alibre. Alibre.com makes powerful yet easy to use 3D CAD software that's affordable. And when you purchase Alibre, it's a purchase for life. You purchase the license and it's your license. They are not using the cloud-based, subscription-based model, not for owning the software anyway. And so you have the ability to actually download and install software that'll be on your computer, that'll be your license. That's the Alibre model. They've been around for a long time, a great company, and they make 3 different flavors of CAD: Atom 3D, Pro, and Expert. And when it comes to these 3 different flavors of CAD, what we'll see is that there are different capabilities. Well, Alibre is awarding the Atom 3D CAD to every runner in the tournament, except for second and 1st place, because 2nd place gets a seat of the Pro, and 1st place gets a seat of Alibre Design Expert. So really, really cool here that the Alibre team is putting up this prize for all runners. I got to give a huge thank you to the team at Alibre, putting up prizes for everybody. How awesome is that? So cool, so cool. So huge thank you to Alibre. Prizes for all runners. So additional prize. So I think we already saw this slide, right? I think I might have duplicated this slide, right? Well,
Toby, I want to mention that I had a little downtime this week, and I just was motivated and I downloaded Alibre. I just had like 30 minutes. And so I said, let's just see how long it takes to install. It was very fast.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, let me see if I can do a Model Mania part in this, and without any experience for years. And I had a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. And I think I even had Chris Smith try one of your parts in Alibre, and I had him make a video on that, and we'll maybe see the results of that later.
Nice. But, that's what I was gonna ask.
Very cool.
Let's make a video. Yeah. The team at Alibre has been just awesome, supporting this tournament and just kind of showing how excited they are about this idea of 3D CAD speed modeling. So huge thank you to the team at Alibre. And our big announcement today, like I mentioned at the in the bracket, we do have a new sponsor. That sponsor is Revopoint. And I'm very excited to announce this partnership. If you guys are not familiar with Revopoint, just kind of a quick background here, and you can visit them at Revopoint 3D. But Revopoint was founded in 2014 with PhD experts from internationally renowned research institutes. The Revopoint founding team is at the forefront of innovation in the 3D scanning industry. So they've put together this company with kind of the vision of making 3D scanners more accessible and affordable to empower designers, makers, engineers, car enthusiasts, and many others to take advantage of time and cost-saving 3D model creation. And so what they make is 3D scanners. The Revopoint 3D scanners' excellent performance, portability, and ease of use has made them an industry sales leader with end users in more than 150 countries and regions worldwide. So that's a little bit of background of who Revopoint is in case you haven't worked with them before. I know that Eric Beatty in the chat says he loves his range scanner. Well, what Revopoint has done is they have put up a Revopoint Inspire for our 3rd and 4th place finishers in this tournament. So if you finish 3rd or 4th place, not only are you going to get your cash prize, not only are you going to get your seat of Alibre, you're also going to get a Revopoint 3D scanner. Our 2nd place winner is going to win a Revopoint Range 3D scanner. And our 1st place winner is going to win the Revopoint Mini 3D scanner. So this is really exciting, guys. Some big prizes up top for our top 4 finishers. We are really excited here. Wow, indeed. Will says, wow. Yes, wow, indeed. So congratulations to everybody who's made it this far. Good luck making it to the final 4. Ivan the Reasonable in the chat says, no way, that's awesome. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, yes. Huge shout out to Revopoint. And one last announcement here from Revopoint. Revopoint actually is going to be kicking off a new 3D scanner that I know it's I should have lightened that image a little, but what that image is showing there is that you've got the scanner optics on the front, and then you actually have a screen and a processor all built in. So this is what's called the Miraco 3D scanner, the Revopoint Miraco 3D scanner. You can visit the Kickstarter link in the description of this video. If you go down into the description, you can get 40% off with the Kickstarter Super Early Bird Special. But the Revopoint Miraco is the Kickstarter is gonna kick off on October 25th, and this is the world's lightest high precision standalone scanner. This scanner, it has a built-in 2K AMOLED display, so you don't need a phone or computer to process your 3D scans. It also features 4 depth camera modules, which means that you can scan both large and small objects using this one single device. No need for multiple scanners. The Miraco 3D scanner can capture scans with an accuracy of 0.02 millimeters, and with its 48 megapixel RGB camera and flash, it can produce stunningly realistic 3D models with impressive color and texture effects. And like I said, right now, you can visit that link that's down in the description. You can sign up for the early bird special, unlock discounts of this purchase, and they are going to kick that off on October 25th on the Kickstarter. So if you visit that link down below, you'll be able to sign up, get notification when they kick off that scanner on their Kickstarter page. Huge shout out to Revopoint. Very exciting stuff. Really cool to have a scanner that you don't need to hook into a phone or a computer. You can just kind of walk around and scan with it. You can flip the modes. If you guys aren't familiar, generally speaking, the way scanners work is that you use one type of scanner for very small objects and then a different type of scanner if you're scanning like a vehicle or something like that. This kind of combines all that functionality into one single device. So shout out to Revopoint. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good on Revopoint indeed. Thank you, Revopoint. And let's get into it. Let's get into it, baby.
I just signed up for that early bird special, Toby.
Oh, yeah.
It was that easy. I just put my email address and I'm in.
Yeah,
so,
boom. You're in. You're VIP.
I want that thing.
So, okay, nice. Very nice. So guys, today is September 30th, and we have got some epic matchups going down today here. We can see here that when we look at our matches, we got match 1, match 2. We're actually going to flip these. We're going to do match 1 first. We're going to have Victor K square up against Will. Victor K actually has an airplane to catch, so I'm sure that he is like, come on, Toby, get on with this. Let's go. But, you know, let's go. Let's take a look at this. What we're going to do is we're going to show these guys a 2D print, and we're going to have them try to turn this 2D print into a 3D model to calculate the mass and then enter that mass in the YouTube chat. And so the rules for this tournament are that you need to win a best of 3 matchups. You need to win 2 points, basically. So whenever our runners win a point, they're going to get a little notification up in the upper right, letting everybody know that they have won a point. our runners are allowed to get one incorrect answer. If you get an incorrect answer, I'll say something like, I'm sorry, Chris, you know, that's not correct. Please try again. But after you get it wrong once, you cannot answer again. If you get it wrong twice, then we're going to bring out the clock, and we are going to have to, you know, we're going to have to settle this with the clock. We're going to have to let the clock figure it all out. And if you're watching in the chat, you can play along with. You can grab a screen capture of the 2D print, and you can, you know, you can kind of see how good you are, see how fast you are compared to these absolute experts, and see if you can beat them. But please don't enter the answer in the chat, okay? We don't want to, you know, spoil it for these guys. These guys are the stars today. We want to make sure that we let these stars shine. So don't enter your answer in the chat. If you want to flex, you could just say something like, hey, I got it. You know, that's a great way to flex. You can just be like, I got it right. And then just wait until it's all over. And don't post a mass. Don't help them if they get stuck. Yep, I see you guys in the chat are talking about signing up for that Revopoint. Yeah, if you're interested at all in 3D scanning, be sure to sign up for that early bird special. That link is down in the description, and you can sign up for that. Don't post a mass. Don't help them if they get stuck. Don't say like, hey, you're missing a fillet or something like that. All right, so we're going to zoom over here to the blue bracket. The blue bracket is sponsored by our friends at SolidBox. Be sure to visit them, www.mysolidbox.com. And we're going to see this matchup here between Will from Brazil and Victor K. Let's learn a little bit about our runners. You can see Victor K is a CSWE, a SolidWorks champion, and a PNW. I'm not really sure what that is, PNW. And Will is a CSWP. So we got CSWE versus CSWP. Started using SolidWorks in 2014. 2014 is a popular date that we're talking about today, huh? Keeps coming up. I love it when the numbers just keep coming up. 14 years for SolidBox, 2014 for Revopoint, 2014 for Victor K. Let's go. Has more project 3D printers than working ones. Okay, good to know. We got to get Prusa to sponsor this thing next year, and then we can get Victor K a 3D printer as well. Another one. And loves starting new projects, but hates finishing them. Yes. I'm in a very similar spot right now. Actually, with both of these points, Victor K, I have a Prusa, the MK4, and it's still in the project box. I haven't put it together yet. All right, Will is an engineer, works with turbine design for power generation, and has been using SolidWorks since 2009, which, Chris, is how many years ago?
14 years ago.
14 years ago. Wow. Guys, if I was you, I would just answer right now and just say 14 grams, and you're probably going to be correct. So I'm pretty much guaranteeing that 1414 is going to be numbers in the answers today. It's got to be just because that's how the universe works. It gives us these little signals that the universe is aligned. Okay, so on that note, let's give these guys a quick practice round just to kind of get things started here. Normally what I would do at this point is I would show them a 2D print and have them turn it into a 3D model. We would go to the Wheel of Fate to find out what that print is, but let's just do a quick practice here, a quick tech check. So I'm going to come over here to full screen, and these guys are going to begin their first practice battle in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? So both of our runners are going to grab a screen capture of this print. They're going to put it over on their second screen, and they're just going to go through a model list. Now, here we are in the round of 16. These guys have actually probably modeled this part once or twice before, but we're just making sure that everything is correct. Like right now, we've got the wrong runners up top. Let's flip that over. We've got Will on the right. We've got Victor on the left. That was a quick tech check. Make sure that everything is working correctly. This is what we do here. These guys are both going through modeling this thing pretty quick. I love the way Victor's got his S key customized. He's got everything that he needs right there on the S key. Victor K coming in 3159 grams, and Will coming in 3159 grams, and that is correct. And so we would say at that point, congratulations to Victor K, you got it correct, and that was the correct answer. I'm kind of blasting through this because I know you guys have done this before. Gary Bruce says, I get nervous and I'm not even running. Gary, I feel the same exact way. I get nervous as well. Fortunately, you can kind of resolve some of the nerves if you just are not the person making the decisions. And that's the situation that we find ourselves in here, because it's not really up to me what happens to these guys. What happens to these guys is really up to what we like to call the Wheel of Fate. The Wheel of Fate, exactly. And so let's bring up the Wheel of Fate here, and let's find out what our runners have in store. So let me see here if this is... Boom, first try. All right. So guys, I'm going to shuffle this up. You in the chat can take a look at all these numbers. Let me shuffle this up a little bit here. So you guys in the chat can take a look at these numbers. The Wheel of Fate is sponsored by our friends over at SolidBox. be sure to visit our friends at SolidBox and let me know in the chat what number you think it's going to be. Gary Bruce thinks it's going to be 32. Stefan is answering with the correct answer, 14. Ivan coming in 14T14. That's also correct. I'm going to just give those guys a point automatically for answering correctly. I also would accept 41 just because it's reverse. So if anybody out there still wants to get their guesses in, Todd Blackshear saying 11T6, SYSRPN saying 23T54. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right, guys, let's give this thing a rip and see what the answer is. Striker says, yep, 41 because it's 14 backwards. That is correct. That is correct. Okay. All right, let's see who gets it. I'm going to rip it right on 41. So let's give this thing a rip here and let's see what we end up with. And it looks like we're going to be looking at model number 45. Model number 45. So let's get that up and running. And Chris Castle, do you have any advice for the runners before we get started with this first matchup here?
You know, we're at a level now where these are all pros at this point. You know, I think they just need to be able to calm their nerves. You know, hope they all peed before they had to, you know, grab their mouse.
It's good advice. Yep. Go run real quick and take a pee. That's good advice. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Will, he's been crushing it, so I don't think he needs any help.
Yeah, Will from Brazil, absolutely crushing it in Model Monday Live. That's our Monday live stream. We are streaming this Monday. It is on the calendar, tutaltoby.com/calendar. So if you guys want to join us on Monday, we do challenge the chat to kind of do this. So if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see if you're faster, join us on Monday. We're going to do Model Monday Live. We're going to challenge the chat. All right, guys, here we go. Our first matchup between Victor K and Will from Brazil begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in x.xxx pounds? We got a pounds model here, guys. Unit system is IPS. The material is plain carbon steel. You can see this thing is called a guide bracket. Tolerance is plus or minus 0.003. Both of our runners are already in it. Guys, if you're watching from home, grab a screen capture, roll back the video if you need to, because these guys are off to the races. Let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle. So here we see on the left, Victor using SolidWorks. On the right, Will using SolidWorks. Both starting out with what looks like a similar feature, but it looks like Victor decided to go with a solid approach, where Will decided to go with a hollowed out approach. Let's see which one pays off.
Right away, Victor is using the slot tool to make that overall slot shape. That's great. That's great use of that tool.
Yep, agree. Agree.
Don't know about that tool.
Yep. Sometimes you use it even if you're not making a slot. Sometimes you use it, right? Mm-hmm. We see that Will on the right is taking a look at the layout of this design. Sometimes I've seen people do this. They kind of model it the other way, almost like it's like a backwards version. I think I've seen Chadwick, who's running today, model the, oh no, you know what? I think it was Joush, who I saw like modeling the thing upside down compared to how it was on the drawing. You know, it's very interesting. It's the way our brains work, the way our brains kind of visualize in 3D. Here we see that Will on the right is running into this issue of creating geometry that needs to touch a cylinder. And this is something that we've talked about a lot during this tournament, is how people sometimes forget or struggle to handle when you're touching off tangent to a cylinder. And we see Will potentially running into that. Will is a very skilled user, and I'm sure he's going to be able to use a command to kind of fix that up a little bit. I remember my commentator last week called that a dingus. I think that was the term that he used, a little dingus sticking in there. And there we go. We see Will was able to clean that up, no problem.
Yeah, and I think it was, I can't remember who it was last weekend that was really all about the delete face command. It was just kind of going, there was a few moments where the sketch that was created was pretty rough, but it left a lot of dinguses.
Yeah.
But that delete face was the savior on that.
Yep. And I just want to, I apologize, guys. I just want to give a quick shout out to Balraj in the chat. Did answer 45, which was correct. So we got to make sure we recognize when people answer correctly in the Wheel of Fate. It looks like it was Balraj who was the only one who guessed 45, and that was correct. So congratulations to Balraj. Nice job.
Victor's making some serious progress over here, buddy.
Okay, all right, yep. Just wanted to make sure I give that shout out before I forgot. Look at what Victor's doing there on the left. Very impressive. Really moving through this thing.
Yeah, I mean, Victor's an old pro. He's been here many times, so he knows what he's doing. He's not, his palms aren't sweaty right now.
He's just worried about missing his flight.
I bet you he's got exactly, and he's probably got one hand on a cup of coffee or something right now. He's probably not even using
He's probably watching the the app, the American Airlines app, see if he can upgrade to first class. The trick there, if any of you guys don't travel much, there is an app you can use on the day of your flight that'll sometimes give you a cheap upgrade to first class. Little pro tip for anybody out there who's traveling still. I'm not really traveling much these days. I got a van.
You noticed that Victor chose to oh, never mind, I was gonna say something, but he's already doing it.
Yep.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, really interesting print here. Really, interesting model, interesting print. This is the part where I get excited when I see like what Victor's doing on the left. Whenever you're creating a feature that needs to go up and touch off against the tangency of a cylinder, how do we handle that? Victor using the magic dimension handle there to get that angle dimension. Very impressive.
I don't remember, but it seems like Victor might be an instructor. Oh, is he gonna use it? He's using the rib tool, my favorite tool.
We love the rib tool.
Well, it's my second favorite tool. People who know me really well will know what my favorite tool is.
Oh yeah, Is it delete face?
No.
That's everyone's favorite tool, I think.
Way cooler than that.
Look at Will on the right.
Will's catching up.
Yeah, Will's just about done with this thing, man.
I had a feeling Will was kind of taking his time, kind of giving Victor a little hope. And
yeah,
I don't know.
Man, okay, I think we're gonna be seeing some answers coming in here pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, and Victor K coming in with an answer, 3.776 pounds. And that is correct.
Oh, nice work, Victor.
Wow. Will was right there finishing up that last feature. It looked like that was going to be a rib or, a gusset of support, a brace there. He was right there. But Victor K was able to come through with the win on that model. Super, super speedy. Very, very impressive. Wow. Nice job to Victor K coming up with that answer. That was awesome. That was fast.
Yeah.
Definitely
I think Will's done with playing around now, though.
Yeah, exactly. Will's like, next match, let's go. Just whatever.
Give me the second one.
Give me the next one. Yeah, come on, again. Yeah, we all know how that feels playing Smash, and you got to just like get right into the next match. So, very nice job, guys. GG to the winner. GG to both of our runners. That gives Victor 1 point. If Victor can secure a second point, then he will move on to the Elite 8. But Will is ready for the next match. And so let us learn just a little bit more about our runners. Oh, no. We already learned everything we know about our runners. Let us turn to the Wheel of Fate. Let us see what the Wheel of Fate has in store today for these runners on this next match. Here we go. Any guesses out there? Anybody want to guess what this is going to be?
Oh, I was going to just point out that there were 69 viewers on the live stream, but that doesn't really play a factor.
Let's go. 69 is always a fun number. We can always enter that in to the chat as well. Let's go. I like it. A great number of viewers, too. Great turnout today. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this live stream. And let's see here. Ex Machina Engineering 32. Notice me. 32. Okay. If we only had 69 likes as well, Victor K says, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, 43 likes, but 69 viewers. Let's see what we can do to get that to match up. Smash that like button, everybody. We got a lot of good answers coming in here. GG to everybody for answering. And let's let this wheel rip and see what is in store for our next match. The Wheel of Fate is sponsored by SolidBox. Visit them at mysolidbox.com. Okay, wow, sequential. Interesting. We're going to go sequential on this one. Yeah. I like it. Okay, so let me just make a quick note here. All right. And what did you learn from watching these masters in that last match, Chris?
Well, it's pretty obvious they're pretty equally matched. That's great. That's what you want at this point of a tournament. And there's no doubt that they're both very competitive. I think they have about the same style of approaching these kinds of problems, so that's good. So we're really talking about a matter of speed at this point, who's physically faster at clicking, almost, right? Both being SolidWorks programs, they have the same tools at hand, so it's funny how you can normalize all the parameters, and then it gets down to just who's physically faster at doing things. So I feel like that's what's going to be the factor with your next, the 2024 tournament that we have in Vegas, right? Isn't that where we're having it?
Yeah, we're going to try and have it at the Sphere, the new Sphere.
Exactly, that's right. I can't remember the name of that place, but
whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when we do that there, and everyone's probably going to be under the age of 20, right? Because that's the only people who can compete at that level. Is
Yeah.
these super fast teenagers.
I mean, the cool thing about engineering and 3D CAD is that, like, I think that we do kind of level that off because, especially as we get deeper into the tournament, round of 16, round of 8, and certainly in the finals, there's so much more planning that's required. Like, you're going to see, I mean, even some of the models that are in this round of 16, you really need to do the features in a certain order if you're going to get the best result. And I think that's something that really comes from wisdom and experience. And I also want to just give a quick shout out to David and Stefan, both guessing 46. Both of them are correct. So congratulations to David and Stefan. Make sure that we recognize the winners of our, really, that's the true skill contest, I think, is being able to predict what the Wheel of Fate has in store.
Eric just said that we could do this on the Ocho,
yes,
the ESPN channel. And that's really a thing, by the way.
The Ocho.
Yeah, it's really a thing. So yes, that's a great place to have
I believe
one
it.
of your tournaments.
I believe it for sure. All right, guys, here we go. We got to get Victor on this flight. So let's get into this next CAD battle. This next CAD battle between these two titans, SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, on this beautiful September 30th begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XX.XX kilograms? Wow, first kg model in the tournament. Welcome everybody to the world of kilograms. So defined in millimeters, looking for a mass in kilograms, XX.XX kilograms, tolerance is plus or minus 0.02. If you're watching at home, grab a screen capture, but you better be fast because these guys are already CADing this thing up. Let's flip over and take a look at this CAD versus CAD battle. Look at this beautiful part here. Wow. Both of them, wow, Victor K, by the time I got to that screen, and Will, both of them, they already have their initial sketch created. And look at how they've both taken almost the exact same approach.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Same they're drawing on the same quadrant of the screen. It's,
yeah.
Interesting.
That is really, really interesting.
You know, you really do have to spend almost 30 seconds really looking at this thoroughly to make sure you're not missing anything. Because like you said, the strategies, it's all about strategy now. You know, are you going to make all the solid bosses and make all the material that you need and then just subtract away from that? Or are you going to incorporate some of your, the holes in your initial features? It's typically the best strategy is going to be waiting till later in the process to add your holes and all the material you need to remove.
Yeah, I agree, but sometimes that ends up costing you,
exactly.
those extra couple of seconds. Sometimes it's better to include those features initially, and I think that's something that really comes with wisdom and experience, is kind of knowing, should I model just half of it and mirror it? Should I include, the cavity as the original feature, or should I save that as a cut for later on? And so we're seeing both Will and Victor tapping into their experience and trying to make these decisions as they go.
Yeah. Victor's already got his first major mass on the screen.
Yep.
He's kept the origin right in the middle to take advantage of symmetry. Let's see what he does now. I have a feeling he's going to make that next flange.
Yeah, create that next flange.
So what was your inspiration with this part, Toby? This is an interesting one. It seems like
I was just in the bathroom sitting on the toilet and I saw one of these up in the ceiling.
Thinking it's something you look at, like what weird parts you can what is Lego parts you can get.
No, I mean, I looked up in the ceiling and saw one of these.
Oh, really?
Nah, just kidding.
Looks like Will is going to, he chose to do half of it and he's going to eventually probably mirror it, but what's he doing now? Looks like he's making a sketch for what he's going to remove on the inside. Okay.
Yep, I like that too. And I didn't see, I looked away for a second. I didn't get a chance to see how Victor hollowed out that thing. I was watching Will creating that sketch, but it looks like Victor's already got the model potentially hollowed out. And I didn't even see what happened over there.
That was a shell, and now he went to delete face. Really good order operations there.
Interesting.
And the thing is, that flange is a little thicker than the rest of the wall thickness there. So, you got to be careful how you're using that feature.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how these models turn out and how really even just like kind of how these runners quote unquote check their math, right? It's going to be interesting, but I really like what Will from Brazil is doing on the right, creating that pattern, kind of just creating half the model, saving, you know, all that legwork, and I'm sure he's going to be able to leverage a mirror command when he's ready. But I think that's a great approach to this thing. We'll see if that works out better than what Victor's doing, because now Victor's going to have that problem with those, you know, with those holes. He's going to have to figure out how to handle those holes.
Wow, this is a good one. Will has an opportunity to catch up, but Victor is really close. He's really close. The Ivan exploit is an option in this particular case. But I don't think at this level these guys need that. They're pros. There's really no underdefined sketches in this tree here. Just pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think that with regards to the Ivan exploit, what we'll see is as we get deeper and deeper into the tournament, it's just not worth it to try to use it. There's too much math, too much dependencies, and sometimes it's just not even available really. But certainly, you know, I have seen lots of people use it in spots that I didn't expect, and so, you know, I'm always happy to be surprised when people are able to work that in.
Victor threw up a mass.
Okay, so Victor K coming in with a mass of 39.02 kilograms. That is not correct. That is not correct. We've got a just to remind everybody, we do have a tolerance on this print here of plus or minus 0.02 kilograms. Victor K answering 39.02 kilograms. That is not correct. It is not within the specified tolerance. It is not correct. So Victor K has now burned off one of his answers, and that's okay. You know, he can look through his model and try to figure out maybe what he missed. Remember, please, no help in the chat. No help in the chat. We want to make sure that we let these guys really be the stars of today. Ex Machina Engineering say, yep, I think I know where that went wrong. This does potentially open the door for Will from Brazil to to get in here. Looked like Victor was really pulling ahead there, but
looks like Victor's kind of realizing some of the mistakes he had made there. But okay, let's see.
Looking through, trying to figure it out.
At this point, when you've made one wrong answer, it's very hard to have any confidence to give another answer. So
yeah, if you answer again and it's wrong, then that's going to be it. And Victor K has come in with a new answer, 40.19 kilograms. That is not correct. That is not correct. So that's going to be it for Victor. If Victor wants to keep working on this and trying to figure out where, maybe where he went off, that's fine. But I would say don't answer again. And that's going to bring up our clock. The first time we're seeing the clock today. So let's bring up the clock here. We're going to give Will a 5-minute countdown. So the timer of doom. Yep. Ex Machina Engineering says, ooh, the timer of doom. So Ex Machina Will from Brazil now has 5 minutes or 2 wrong answers, or 1 right answer, or 1 wrong answer and 1 right answer. I guess there's a lot of combinations that could occur here. But regardless, he's got 5 minutes. He can still answer incorrectly 1 time. And then, if he wants to see if it's incorrect, and then he can try to come back and get the correct answer. But he's going to have 5 minutes to come up with the correct answer. And now 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Oh man, this is I bet right now Victor's feeling like, what did I do wrong? And
yes.
It's so frustrating. And it's frustrating when you take these certification exams, from say SolidWorks.
Yep. I'm sorry, Chris, I'm going to interrupt you. Will, just because Will is on the clock, Will has come in with the answer, 39.53 kilograms. And that is correct.
Oh, wow.
So I got 39.54 when I did my model and when I did my audit. 39.53 is within that plus or minus 0.02 tolerance. Congratulations to Will. This is the kind of matchup that we were hoping to see here today. We're going to the 3rd round of this matchup, possibly the final round, but you do have to earn 2 points. But I just want to remind everybody in the chat to give these guys a GG. What a couple of titans, huh? Man, What a matchup. I know that I noticed that that Victor K had left that first sketch underdefined. I don't know if that's what the issue was or if there was something else. If you guys think you know what happened, Victor K says, I have no clue what happened. Oh, well. GG to Will from Brazil. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I see it now on Victor's screen. Oh, man. Yeah, he didn't have that radius.
There we go.
And
there we go.
Oh, what a frustration. Like I was saying, these are the kind of things, you do when you're doing a certification exam. You've done all that you can. You think you've done your best work. and then none of the multiple choice answers match with your math, and you're like, what did I do?
Yes.
And you start getting really mad.
Yes, I have definitely been in that spot, had that feeling. I completely agree with you. Definitely know how it feels. Super close. Yep. OG with that answer. Yep. When Toby made the comment about tolerance, yeah, he was definitely close. I just wanted to make it clear that I was, was talking about that. It is a kilogram model, so it is a little bit different than some of the other models. But let's go to the Wheel of Fate here. Let's keep this matchup moving along. We got the Wheel of Fate up and running. If anybody wants to guess here, Todd is saying he thinks it's going to be 53. Striker's guessing 41. Gary Bruce 32. Will 55. Pranav 41. Garamara, welcome 53. All right, guys, let's see here. Here we go. Let's rip this wheel. What does the Wheel of Fate have in store for our runners today? Looks like we're going to be looking at model number 50. Model number 50. Okay. Congratulations to Craig Phillips. Getting that correct. Nicely done. Nicely done. I think Craig was the only one who got that one. Very nicely done. And wow, what a matchup, huh?
Yeah.
That was really fun. That was intense.
Very fun.
Yeah.
I think that I think that Ivan and Chadwick right now are getting a little nervous too, probably.
I'll bet. Seeing some of these models, they're probably like, oh yeah. God, what are we getting into here? Okay.
I do appreciate Victor's admission that he loves to start projects but hates finishing them. I want to really meet somebody who loves finishing projects.
Yeah.
I think we'd make a great team.
I could use that person in my life. I just love finishing projects. All right, guys, here we go.
If you're interviewing at SolidBox, that might be one of the things you say. You
yeah,
finish projects.
That's it. That's what you put. Change your job title. I'm a project finisher.
Yeah, not so great at starting them, but man, I love finishing other people's work.
Yeah, if somebody can just get it started, I can really bring it across the finish line. That's my thing. That's what really gives me a lot of fulfillment. All right, guys, here we go. Next CAD battle, possibly the final CAD battle. Who's going to move on to the round of 8? We're going to find out here as we see these two titans, Victor K versus Will from Brazil, in possibly the final match. SolidWorks versus SolidWorks. This CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? Man, I'm so excited that this part came up today. This part is so cool. It looks like a spaceship. Anytime there's a part that looks like a spaceship, somebody's got to give me a super chat for having spaceship looking parts here, because this thing is awesome. 23T50 bearing plate. Both of our runners are in CAD. Let's flip over and see how these experts handle this kind of geometry.
They're already going at it, man. It's crazy. Victor's already got to get started.
What do you do?
I look at your parts, Toby, and I'm always thinking like, I'm looking at using shell commands, rib commands. There's opportunities for hole wizard, or any kind of tool that mimics a hole wizard where you can do like counter bores and like multiple concentric circles at one time. That's what the first thing that comes to my mind when I see your parts. You have a really good knack of making parts that would utilize all these tools, but not just like in say SolidWorks. These are tools that exist in pretty much most CAD software. So it's not like a CAD software has a real advantage with these parts that you make. They're very friendly for any CAD system, I'd say.
Thanks. Yeah, that's definitely one of the challenges in making these parts. And, regardless of what CAD system you're using, it's always going to be that same challenge, that same question. You look at a model like this, you look at a drawing like this, and the question is, what is my starting sketch plane? What is my starting profile? It looks like both of these runners decided to start out by creating half the model and creating it looking from the top down, which is, there's definitely a lesson to be learned there. If you're new to the world of 3D CAD, you could definitely learn just from watching these experts and how they approach a challenge like this. You look at the whole thing and you decide, okay, I'm going to create the footprint of this model. We see that Victor K decided to create that footprint without the hole in it. We see that Will from Brazil decided to create that footprint with the hole in it, you know, and which one is going to pay off later on. We see here that Will from Brazil is using the option for extrude, but with an offset. So he didn't have to create a new plane. He was able to offset that relative to the origin or relative to the original plane, saving him that extra time of having to create a new plane. We see, you know, slightly different approaches from both of these runners, and we're going to find out which of these approaches is really going to pay off.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Victor did use a reference plane that he created. So, I mean, yeah, both outcomes will be the same there, but strategically, you know, maybe having a plane is helpful. It's hard to say. And, you know, another aspect about these parts that we're making is that it's a race to the finish for that print, to get to that print. You're not throwing in some crazy design change at the last minute that the model has to be able to, you know, withstand these changes. And so that's a different, you know, so your strategy when you're in the Too Tall Toby tournament is definitely getting your part done as quickly as possible. You're not necessarily thinking about making it the most parametric model that I can manipulate later. So, you know, I think most people are professional CAD users. That's their challenge, right? Is making sure that their part is able to handle some changes, you know, when someone asks them to make those changes. So what would you say, Toby? Is there anything different when you take the approach of just getting it done versus making it a little more flexible for the future?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you and I have had this conversation before. I think that the ideal outcome would be that you're able to do both. You know, yes. you want to be able to create it in a way that you're modeling efficiently so it can be changed later on, but you also want to be able to do it fast. You know, so what does it take to get to the point where you can do both? And I think that what it takes is mastery of your skill, right? That's kind of the whole idea behind everything we're doing here in the Too Tall Toby tournament, and with what I do on the channel is that, like, I want to help craft masters. You know, I want people who can do both, who can create things quickly without sacrificing quality, create models that actually can be modified by your team later on, because, you know, it is fun. It's a lot of fun what we're doing here, but I would hate to feel like I'm teaching people bad habits. Like, I really want to make sure that people are still getting the fundamentals down. You know, you watch like a guitar player like Eddie Van Halen, you know, he's got the fundamentals down and he's able to rip through those scales, but he's not playing any bad frets. And that's really what I want from the whole Too Tall Toby community. I want you guys to be able to play, you know, to scream through these solos without playing any bad frets. Yeah,
I'm watching Will here, and he's included the inner diameter of that cylinder, that cut in that cylinder in his initial sketch, and you know, that's one of the things you'll encounter when you're designing stuff in your CAD software is you'll find that you've by adding new features that you're going to encroach on those areas that have a cut, and you realize, oh man, maybe I should have had that cut a little later. And you know, and then the question is do you push forward? Do you use stuff like delete face and all that kind of stuff, or do you go back and you update your sketches so you don't have those voids in your original sketch? So I mean, that's where the experience comes in, though. If you've done enough of these, you start to get a feel for when should I nest everything in one sketch.
Yes, indeed. And guys, I just want to, you know what? I missed a super chat earlier. Sorry about that, Striker. I did see that come in, and then I just totally backburnered it. But a huge thank you to Striker. Says thank you for all you do for the community, Toby, and then a little smiley face with some hearts on it. So thank you, Striker. Striker #1. Let's go. So thank you so much for that. Very much appreciate it. Super chat goes a long way towards helping the channel. So thank you. I saw your your follow-up comment came in there, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to mention something. So yeah, this is really,
I mean, the guys our competitors here today are definitely taking their time. I know Victor is definitely more cautious this round. He's thinking, man, I cannot afford to make a mistake.
Yeah, and I think that this is another one of these models, like we were talking about earlier, where it's like you've got features that are running up directly into the tangency point of other features, and it's really interesting to see how these, you know, professional users, experienced users, can really end up struggling with that type of geometry. You know, it's just because you're under the gun. It's just because, you know, you have to do all this stuff on the fly, make these decisions on the fly. But I always just think it's so interesting to see how these professional, experienced runners still end up sometimes like having a little a brain block almost, it feels like, when it's like, I need to create something that just runs right up and runs tangent right into the side of a cylinder. There's several ways you can do it, you know, but it just seems like that's the kind of feature that most commonly frustrates our runners. And maybe that's something that, you know, if you're planning on competing next year, that could be a skill that you really try to lock down, to kind of hone in on.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, I really wish I could have seen Space Claim attack this problem with all its Boolean functionality, because it's really some of the people who are really good at Boolean CAD, like you know, like even SolidWorks, you can use it in a very Boolean fashion. Onshape is very Boolean in its operation.
Guys,
so
we got an answer.
Oh, we do.
We got an answer. Victor K has come in with an answer of 9.91 pounds, and that is correct. And that's going to give Victor K the win. That's going to give Victor K the victory cat, the 2 points. That's going to allow Victor K to jump off this call and go and catch his flight. Victor K, thank you so much for participating today. Congratulations on moving on to the Elite Eight. Will, amazing matches, amazing watching you. Thanks so much for being part of the Model Monday Live challenges. I hope that you're going to keep getting in there. I hope that you're going to keep crushing it during Model Monday Live. Week after week, we see Will scoop the Model Monday Live challenges, and it's so great to have him in there. And GG to both of our runners. What an epic matchup, guys. Getting to see those matches go to 3, that's a huge win for everybody who's watching in the chat. So close. Yep. Will was right there, just about to finish. Very nicely done to both of our runners. Victor K, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck on your travel. He's gone. He's already gone. All right. See ya.
There's somebody in the airport right now wondering why the guy with the laptop is screaming and shouting, you know, with
He's
joy.
like, yeah, yeah. All right, we can leave now, tells the pilot. Nicely.
Final boarding for Victor.
Wow. Nicely done, Victor K. Nicely done, Will from Brazil. Thank you so much to our runners, both of our runners. Guys, let's give a GG, huge GG to all of our amazing runners here today. Huge GG to Victor K, a huge GG to Will from Brazil. Very nicely done. Awesome job, man. I love when the matches go to 3. I love when they're just so close like that.
It was so
man.
Great. And I'm sad to see Will go, though. He's definitely, man, what a competitor. He has been given a lot of hard problems throughout the tournament, I've noticed. So it's a little sad that he got tripped up on these, but Victor's an old seasoned pro. So I mean, it just shows you just can't necessarily just jump into this tournament as a first timer and just dominate. I mean, you have to have a little experience. You can be the best CAD user out there, but there's something special about this environment, trying to do it quickly.
Yeah, doing it quickly in front of everyone. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, we're going to move on now to our second match, our match between Ivan the Reasonable, former champion, and Chadwick. This is going to be a really, really good match. Chadwick is a solid inventor user, instructor, content creator, has a channel called Between CAD Classes. Ivan the Reasonable, not only experienced in the Too Tall Toby tournaments, but just an experienced user for a long time, doing true SolidWorks creating models, helping customers, you know, a true SolidWorks user, kind of jack of all trades, specializes in manufacturing, so really understands what it takes to create a model, to get that model out the door and get it to the customer so that the manufacturing process can keep going. So, and don't forget with Chadwick, like and subscribe to Chadwick's channel, Between CAD Classes, a wonderful channel, great content on there. So, whoops, I'm a little bit out of sorts here. Don't forget to support the channel, guys. We got 71 people watching. We got 57 likes. The easiest way to support the channel is to like, but you can also subscribe to the channel. Take a screen capture of what we're doing today and share that on your social media. Say, guys, we're coming down to the Elite 8 in this World Championship. Make sure you tune in next week. Share it with everybody. And of course, a free account at tootalltoby.com is a great way to help support the community. We got a lot of good stuff coming down the pike here for tootalltoby.com to continue to grow the community and give you guys more interactivity and learning experiences. And of course, the super chat is enabled. Down at the bottom of the chat, there's a little $ symbol. If you use that, you can use a credit card, send in some super chat. You can also, if you're watching the recording, you can use what's called super thanks. Another great way to support the channel. There are some shirts still available, limited quantities right now. I saw Todd earlier was asking if we have any more extra mediums. I don't think we do have any more extra mediums, but we do have some other sizes. Chris Castle in the chat says, I just subscribed to Chadwick's channel. That is awesome. And don't forget about our sponsor of the Black Bracket, Joko Engineering. I saw Joko in here earlier. Joko makes a lot of fun CAD videos, informative CAD videos on lots of different CAD systems, FreeCAD, Alibre, Onshape. Check out jokoengineering.com, making all of your 3D CAD dreams come true. Sponsor of our Black Bracket, which we are going to get into now. Thank you very much, Joko, for sponsoring the Black Bracket. He's in the chat if you guys want to say hi to him. Here we go, September 30th. Ivan was able to battle his way through Wiki, 33 KB RAM, an incredibly fast competitor. Chadwick was able to battle and survive against Tarek Shodi, our friend from Egypt. And that means that today we get to see a Canada versus United States SolidWorks versus Inventor showdown. Let's go. Let's go. Ivan the Reasonable says, been using SolidWorks before Twitter or Facebook launched. Nice. Enjoys the artistic side of rendering and animation work. Currently reading The Lego Story and recently found a workaround to make the delete face tool even more effective. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
And Chadwick teaches at a community college. Very nice. Getting that next level of engineering, next generation of engineering. An avid hockey fan, go New Jersey Devils. Nice. And I think Ivan plays hockey as well. Maybe semi-professionally, maybe amateur, maybe just for fun. But I think Ivan plays some hockey as well. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys, let's do a quick practice round for these guys before we get into the Wheel of Fate. We got to make sure that our all systems are go. I'm going to give these guys a really tough one for the practice model today. We want to make sure that everything is working good, that we got all of the correct information up on the screen. So let's just do a one of these and a one of these. Okay, I think we're good.
I love how Eric has stereotyped Ivan as a hockey player. But the problem is, it's probably true.
Ivan's from Canada. Of course he's a hockey player. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Ivan will confirm between the matches. IGRFBS says, grew up with AutoCAD R12 for DOS. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. All right.
Back when you had to make most of your CAD commands with just a keyboard.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or remember they used to have those tablet things? With the it was like they had this thing. It was like a giant like this big physical.
Yeah, the digitizer. Is that what you're thinking of?
It had a bunch of icons on it.
Yeah, the digitizer. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
I had to had like a sniper crosshair in the middle.
Yeah,
you had to move to that.
I got to use that one semester. That's it.
That was it. You were like, nope, we're on computers. We don't need this. All right, here we go, guys. Let's get into it here. I used to have one of those tablets. I had a stylus. I'm old. Yep. All right. Very nice. All right. Cool. Yeah, you guys remember this. Everybody remembers this. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Here we go. This practice CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys. Let's see if our CAD experts, Ivan the Reasonable and Chadwick, can handle this level of complexity.
I want you to save all these calibration parts here for my my Too Tall Toby tournament that I do for the middle school kids.
This is what you're gonna give them, yeah. All right.
This is all good stuff for that level.
See how these guys rock it. Okay, looks like we're pretty good here. Let's clear out the wins. Make sure that nobody's got any wins. We got Ivan the Reasonable on the left, doing an interesting approach for this thing, modeling it short and then performing a looks like maybe some kind of a body copy. Oh, there's an Ivan exploit for you. Wow. Let's go. Tracy coming in with 189 did not use an Ivan exploit. Ivan coming in with 189 did use an Ivan exploit. That is correct. They are both correct. Nice job, everybody. You guys get a chance to see the person who got the feature named after him, Ivan the Reasonable, using the Ivan exploit here in real time. Where else are you going to see that? SolidWorks versus Inventor.
You got Ivan using his gray themed SolidWorks too. Ooh.
Gray themed SolidWorks. No icons. If you notice, no toolbars. Ivan says, I don't need toolbars. You guys can.
I don't want to quite say it, but it's quite hipster of him to use that layout. I love it.
Wow. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
No, he's got a lot of style. I mean, he almost won last year. I mean, him and Allness were neck and neck at the end. So.
Yes, awesome. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Toolbars are for the weak. That's what X Machine Engineering says. Here we go, guys. I see all the numbers coming in. I don't even have to tell you anymore. 41, 32, 53. 43, 53, 55. Come on, 53 from Tom Schnars. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Changing his icon in real time. I like it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, no, sorry. Spin. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, the Wheel of Fate is sponsored by Joko Engineering here in the black bracket. We'll update that in just a second, Joko. Okay, 32. Wow, it finally made it through. Somebody was holding out for that for a while. I remember there was somebody who kept saying 32, 32. Tayfon, 32. Stefan, 32. Joko Engineering, 32. Gary Bruce, 32. A lot of people going for 32. Nice job, guys. 32. That is correct. All right, and let's just get a quick representation of... Actually, you know what? I'll do this off stream. Just give me a second, guys. We're going to get that ready. Chris, any advice for these runners? These guys, I don't know if you're even going to be able to advise them.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, at this point, it's tricky because, well, first off, I'm really curious what the part's gonna look like because, well, Tracy can do anything in Inventor, but Inventor has some capabilities that are really good. You know, especially sheet metal and weldments. They're really good in Inventor. There's some neat things there. So I don't know. I mean, you got any more sheet metal parts in the Wheel of Fate?
There's always at least one. Yeah, there's always at least one. I'm not gonna say. I can't say if it's this one or not because. Yeah, we got to wait until they see it when we see it. But there is, every match in the round of 16, there's always at least one in the Wheel of Fate. So
good.
It's we love the sheet metal parts here. The sheet metal parts are kind of like a crowd favorite as well. And so, there's always at least one. That's for sure. Yeah,
I notice people get a little nervous when they see them. I mean,
the runners.
It's that whole managing the uniform thickness thing and making sure there's no weird radius that you have on the inside versus the outside.
Yes.
Totally throw you off.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, here we go. Let's get into it here. Let's go to full screen. And this CAD battle, our first CAD battle of the day between Ivan the Reasonable and Chadwick, SolidWorks versus Onshape, Canada versus the United States, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? What's with all the pounds models today? Man, it's like a festival. What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? Plus or minus 0.01 pounds. Both of our runners are taking a look at this thing. Let's flip over to our CAD versus CAD showdown here between these runners. Here we go. We see that both of our runners are creating this model. We see Ivan the Reasonable on the left going with the approach of that kind of angled, more complicated section. We see Chadwick on the right starting out with the base. This is always the challenge when you get a 2D print.
Yep.
Where is your starting sketch? What is your starting profile? What does that initial sketch look like? What do you got to do to make sure that those lines are parallel? Is it different in the different CAD systems? How do you get that angle in there correctly? We see Ivan the Reasonable on the left, no toolbars. This guy doesn't use toolbars. Says
He's making the most of the shortcut keys. I mean, when you're an experienced CAD user, you kind of figure out your top 5 to 10 commands you use on a daily basis. And pretty much with almost all the CAD systems out there, you can customize your shortcut bar, or you can utilize shortcut keys to get that to come up quickly. So Ivan's such a pro. He knows exactly what he needs.
He's just going for it.
Yeah, he's making this is interesting. He's taking the approach of making just a solid flange, and then I guess he's gonna make this cut through it now.
Yeah, it's got kind of that weird cut coming through from that one side. It's a little bit hard to visualize that. This is part of the challenge too, is just kind of understanding how to read these prints. And certainly the more experience you have with Too Tall Toby nomenclature, I think I'm trying to get my own standards. So there'll be the ISO standard, the ANSI standard, and then the TTT standard, which will be taught in colleges, hopefully in 2026. And people will see notes like, it's mostly symmetric.
Well, if we only knew anybody teaching community college classes on CAD.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we might have it in. There. We might have it in. So we can see here that Ivan is coming through, creating that base plate. We see that Chadwick is on the right. Looks like he's using kind of a hole wizard tool to get that counter bore. This one definitely looks like Chadwick is pulling ahead, but any little slip up can make the difference.
You know, one of the worst feelings you can have in a CAD battle like this is you've gone, say, through almost all the features, and then you're about to lay down your hole wizard feature, and then you realize that your part was done in the wrong units. So now your counterboard is like 20 times size bigger than your part. That's a terrible feeling.
Yes, I completely agree.
I had a feeling, I was worried when I saw Tracy's screen there because his counterboard looked really big.
Yep, but it looks like Tracy has come in with an answer. 1.08 pounds.
Ivan's right there.
Ivan's right there, coming up with the same answer. I think we already know, guys. That is correct.
Oh.
So Tracy Chadwick coming through here with the correct answer. 1.08 pounds. Congratulations. That was actually one of the holdouts from the round of 32. If you guys noticed that match went a little bit faster, the geometry was a little bit easier. Some of these models from the round of 32 were kind of right on the cusp. Is it enough? Is there enough features in there for it being in the round of 16? I don't know. It's pretty close. Congratulations to Chadwick, though, taking that one down. Very nice.
But, you know, Ivan was right there. I mean, he literally had his mass properties up.
Right there.
Same time almost. So
yeah, right there. So very, very fast matchup there. I think that only took about 3 minutes for that whole matchup. Wow. GG to Chadwick. And that was that's it. That was our final model that was a holdout from the round of 32. So you guys got kind of I'll say it was kind of a softball. I mean, you both had to hit it, but it was kind of a softball compared to some of the other models we've seen. Certainly not the models Will was seeing were a little bit more complicated than that one for sure.
Well, Toby, what is the logic behind those numbers then? I guess I didn't realize that before, is that the part number corresponds to when it was kind of designed for in the
essentially
tournament?
Essentially.
Okay,
you got it. Essentially. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So there was definitely a crossover on one of those numbers. I don't want to say which one it was, but there was definitely a crossover, and if there were any numbers that came before that crossover number, those were kind of the last holdouts from the round of 32. So That's it. We've purged. There's no more easy models. Everything is going to be top notch now. So let's take a look here. We see here that Ivan says, I'm fairly certain that my clients wouldn't appreciate the Ivan exploit. Yep, I could definitely see that. The clients might not appreciate that. And then he also says, recycle old ones if you wish. So recycle some old fun facts if you wish. You've got lots. Okay, so whatever the runners put in on their fun facts ends up on this PowerPoint. So, whatever you guys put in there. Ivan's also a dolphin trainer, in case you guys didn't know that. Lots of dolphins up in Canada. that need to be trained. All right. And Chadwick is a huge lover of Star Wars, currently building a full-scale R2-D2, and started using AutoCAD in 1996 and has expanded to several programs. Very nice. Very nice. Wow, what a good matchup. That first matchup was pretty tight.
Pretty great.
All right, guys, the Wheel of Fate. The Wheel of Fate is sponsored by Joko Engineering. Joko Engineering, making all your 3D CAD dreams come true. What do we think the wheel has in store for our runners today? Let's see what we think. Gary Bruce is thinking 41, 41, 41. We got to have 41. With all of the talk of 14 that we've had today, there's got to be a 41 in here somewhere. I think so. I think so. Subscribe. Make all your dreams come true. Joko Engineering. Joko, you should compete in FreeCAD. I got a feeling we're going to see Joko on the board here for the next tournament. Next tournament's going to start early 2024. We'll have qualifiers for it either the end of this year or early beginning of next year. We're going to try and have multiple tournaments next year. So you guys are all going to have a chance. We're going to have some different formats. I think we should do one that's all sheet metal, personally.
Oh, yeah, but, for sure.
That's just because I'm a sadist. Here we go. Spin. I don't have to count this down. I just rip it. I don't have to count down the wheel, right? I can just rip the wheel. Okay, guys. 52.
Nice.
23T, 52. Good luck to everyone. Good luck to everyone in the audience, and good luck to everyone who is running this challenge today, which is really just Ivan and Chadwick. Good luck, guys. What do you think, Chris? Now you've seen them do one model. That model was maybe a little bit on the easier side. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice for Ivan? Go faster.
I think Ivan was just kind of maybe making this more interesting for us. So thank you for that, Ivan. Thank you for just kind of keeping it going.
Wow. Okay. I like that. What was this again? 50. 2?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Make sure we got everything ready for these amazing runners. We love seeing the runners here today. Love seeing everybody in the chat as well. Don't forget to like, guys, if you guys are enjoying this kind of a event. I think this is, I'm gonna say this is probably, I don't want to say for sure, but this is probably the only YouTube live stream that's showing head-to-head battles between Inventor and SolidWorks. So
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
For what that's worth. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Maybe there's several other streams.
Way
running right
overdue. Way overdue content.
Here we go, guys. This next battle begins very soon.
Yeah,
Will
I think if I
Ivan-
could've seen- oh,
Will
go ahead.
Ivan the Reasonable get redemption here? That's the question. Or is this going to be it?
No, I think Ivan's got this one. I have a feeling about it.
Is this going to be the final battle of the day? I don't know. We're going to
Yeah.
find out. SolidWorks versus Inventor, 3D CAD speed modeling begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? We got a tolerance on this part. The tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. Both of our runners grabbing a screen capture of this print. Everyone in the audience grabbing a screen capture of this print. And we're going to flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle and see how these guys get started. This is a really cool looking part. Lots of features to look out for in this part. This is definitely not from the round of 32.
Yeah, and I can tell already that the guys, none of them have started yet. So that's already a sign that
Yeah,
these guys have always kind of got at it in like within 3 or 4 seconds. So
I saw them in the beginning, like jump over to the CAD, and I was like, okay, they're going to get started. And then there was just kind of a pause. And this is where we do the planning. This is where we look at the model. We say to ourselves, whoa, what's going on with this thing? It's got that vertical
when
drafted
people talk
wall.
about like 3D chess, this is literally 3D chess.
3D chess,
You're trying to make sure that your strategy will make it all the way to the end. Because you could easily make a few features that look like you're on the right track and then realize you've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
So,
Todd Blacksher in the chat saying, wow, that's a crazy part. Yep. What a part. Jed Hightower says, what a part. Eric Beatty, love this part. This is a pretty cool model here.
Yeah. So far they're taking, it looks like they're both taking the approach of revolving the, the outer profile as a whole. And then maybe they're going to start to remove those windows in that part. But
yeah, I saw that at the beginning, and now I see Chadwick kind of breaking it up into a sketch with multiple contours, which is definitely a valid approach as well. We see Ivan decided just to kind of grip it and rip it and just kind of do the whole thing all at once. And so we're going to see which of these strategies pays off. Definitely some interesting geometry on this thing. Definitely, I'm sure we're going to see some really interesting strategies here as far as how to model this thing. Looks like Ivan. I see the approach Ivan's using. I don't want to say it out loud, but I see the approach that Ivan's using there, and that's probably gonna it makes sense based on what the print was showing. So very interesting here.
Yeah, it's hard to commentate sometimes when you're really captivated by what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is really fun.
Yeah.
So, you just can't. You almost want to throw out some spoilers, like, "Oh, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that?"
Yes.
And
yeah, as an experienced user, that's very true. You definitely see some things, and you say to yourself, like, "What's going on there? Why don't they do it that way?" Nate Liquid Gravity says, weird, YouTube on my smartphone video is delayed compared to my PC. Yep, you're going to see a slight delay depending what you're watching on. Chris and I are watching this pretty much live with no delay and then commenting out to everyone. So we have the raw feed on our end, and then it gets pushed out to YouTube, and then there's going to be a delay, but the delay is more or less the same for everyone.
Okay, looks like Ivan has his first little window cut out on this part.
Yeah, very interesting approach there from Ivan. And I think we're starting to see some of this experience, the experience. Although both these guys have a lot of experience. I don't want to undersell the experience from Tracy. He's been using for a long time too, from Chadwick. But yeah, we're definitely seeing some experience here showing off from both of our runners. If I was creating this model, I would have no idea. I would be nowhere near where they are. I'd still probably be just working on the base. Yeah,
it's tricky because there's always multiple ways to do these parts, And it happens all the time that you start doubting yourself, because you'll be down the path and you know, if you know, Ivan doesn't necessarily have time to go look at YouTube and see what Tracy's doing. But if you doubt yourself at all, it's not good.
It'd almost be worse if you could see what the other person's doing, because that's just gonna add to that doubt.
Yeah. So now you see on Ivan's screen, he's kind of nested the sketch, and he's gonna use it again, it looks like.
Yeah. Really, I think that's a really good strategy, just generally speaking in CAD. This is one that I did not use. I shied away from this for many, many years. And then it wasn't until I really started using Onshape a lot earlier this year and watching the leaderboard that I really started to realize the power of nesting your sketches. And now, I mean, even just in the most recent tutorial I posted, you can see that I'm using one sketch for multiple features, and just kind of using and reusing and learning how, like, pre-selecting, if you're outside the sketch and you pre-select the sketch entity, then that entity will automatically land in the contours box in SolidWorks. Like little tricks like that, the little nuances that you learn can really make a difference in how efficient a tool is. And that's like what makes a difference between me adopting it into my arsenal.
I call it the Mark Schneider approach from SolidWorks. Mark Schneider is an OG of CAD. He's been a commentator here on your channel before, but I feel like every Model Mania part he ever designed for the SolidWorks World Conference was best done using that approach. Yeah,
he really likes that approach as well. The use of contours, and he also is I think one of the people that got us a lot to believe in delete face and move face. There would always be delete face and move face tricks. If you ever go to SolidWorks World and do the modeling challenge, the main thing you want to know is that they ask for a design change, and you really have to know delete face and move face. Wow, it's hard to talk when I'm watching this, because it's so interesting to see both of our competitors. I see Ivan making that brace over on the left there. I see Tracy kind of re-examining and using section view here so that he can clearly see the underside of that circular boss up top. So yeah, and some we see move face going on right now, even in this tournament. This is really close.
Yeah, this is good, and it looks like Ivan is just making sure he has everything ready for what I assume is going to be a circular pattern, maybe, of those features. And the thing is that you have to know what exactly are you patterning. Are you patterning faces? Are you patterning the body? You know, the feature. It's
that's a great point too. Yeah, sometimes when you try to pattern features, they'll end up erroring because of end conditions, and that can definitely slow you down as well. So I see Ivan bringing up his mask properties. Monto Salino says reusing sketches for the win. Ivan coming in with an answer here. That answer looks to be 2140 grams, and that is correct.
Oh,
wow. Wow, that was like a clinic on how to build a complicated model with a lot of features. Man, oh man, oh man. And look at Chadwick there on the right, just about finished as well. All he's got to do is put in that final brace, and I'm sure he's going to be able to come up with the correct answer as well. And wow. Yeah, Ivan says, phew, I'm sure his palms are sweating. I'm sure his heart rate is up. You know, knowing that you're facing potential elimination, giving up all those great prizes, you know, that's definitely got to factor into these guys' mindset. No pressure. Just all the pressure in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
No pressure, just everyone in the world is watching you.
Wow, that was great. And Tracy was there. I mean, he's
right there.
Like he's just shy of that one rib underneath the that feature. You know, it's funny. You have to come up with names for these features, and I have to think of like clever names for these features.
Yeah.
There's such atypical looking parts. So
yeah, and because you don't want to say what the actual, like, what the feature name is. So a lot of times I'll say like brace or gusset or something like that. Yeah. But really, I'm like, it's a rib. It's a rib feature. Make it with a rib. Yeah. Wow. All right, guys. What more can we ask for today, right? I mean, we're going 3 matches in both of our setups here. This is what it's all about, man. This is the round of 16. We have properly vetted and seeded this tournament, and now we're going to find out who's going to move on to the round of 8 in what is probably going to be the last matchup between these two titans. Let's flip over to the Wheel of Fate and find out what it has in store for our runners, because I got a feeling that the Wheel of Fate, sponsored by Joko Engineering, it's either going to be 54, 41, 53, or 55. You guys are down to just 25% chance of getting this correct. Gary Bruce staying steady here all throughout 41. You guys know it's got to be 41, right? It's got to be. With all the talk that we had today, it's got to be 41. I'm going to get in here and guess as well. I'm going to guess it's going to be 41.
I have a feeling that there's going to be some serious sports gambling on 3D CAD in the near future. I don't know why. I feel like there will be like some...
We're just going to roll it. We're just going to get everybody over into that area, yeah. So move them right along. Just leave the tech tips room and just go right into the gambling room. All right, here we go. I don't have to count this one down. Let's see what the Wheel of Fate has in store. Let's rip it, baby. Here we go. Okay.
All right. Okay.
54, not 41. Okay. I think we're all kind of stunned.
Yeah.
54. That was Stefan who got that one correct, as well as Jed Hightower and Omri. Nice job, guys. Omri, Jed Hightower, and Stefan all got that correct. 54. Oh, and Atif Khan got it correct as well. Very nicely done. Omri, 2 in a row. Omri, tonight is your night to go to casino. Good luck with that. Put down a bet on 14. I think it'll be a winner. All right, here we go. Let's hide the Wheel of Fate here. Let's get things ready. This is going to potentially be the final matchup. Chris, what do you have for advice for these runners?
I think at this point, they just need to be real cautious and review their work a lot before they submit an answer. They can't afford to make a mistake.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I think that, it's all about kind of planning it out. I think that they were both on the right track. I think that sometimes, having a good plan makes a huge difference because it'll help you to avoid running into a hiccup while you're creating this geometry. So I would say just take a minute, plan it out, and then get into it. But these guys are both pros. They know what they're doing, and I guess we should just let them do it, right?
Do it. Let's do this.
Let's do it, guys. Here we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this video. We got an amazing audience in here today. This is truly the place to be on this beautiful Saturday morning. Here we go, guys. Let's flip over to full screen. This CAD battle between SolidWorks and Inventor. Canada and the United States, Ivan the Reasonable versus Chadwick, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? We got a tolerance of plus or minus 4 grams on this one. And guys, there is a lot of magenta on this print. Whenever there's magenta notes, that's Toby's way of kind of giving you a heads up that there might be something a little bit worth noting. I'll just put it that way. There are magenta notes on this thing. You're gonna have to figure out what that means. And this is part of the TTT drafting standard, obviously. Take a screen capture if you're watching at home. This will definitely be one that you'll want to look at while these two titans are battling. I'm going to flip over to the CAD versus CAD mean screen because I'm already seeing geometry landing in the graphics area for Chadwick. Chadwick doesn't need time to look at this. He's ready. Says, I'm going for it. He's going to jump right in, create that initial shape, put it into a section view, and begin sketching the additional geometry. So both of our runners seem like they've got a plan. They've both taken a look at this print. If you need to, go back and look at that 2D print because there's a lot going on in that 2D print, and this is not easy. This is from the brain of Toby. A little bit of influence from an old drafting manual that I have, but definitely going to be a tricky one here. Good luck. Good luck. Joko Engineering says T-Mobile is going to sponsor our tournament in the future. That is exciting news.
Nice.
I'm excited to hear more about that.
They got the money.
They got the money. They got the coverage. They got the best coverage in the nation. I don't really know anything about cell phone network coverage.
I actually just switched to them. I do like them. I like this part, Toby, because there's just so many ways you could do this, and I see some real elegant ways of showing off, like even using like say the shell command, right? there's just so many ways you could do this.
There's some options for this one for sure.
Yeah, and if you really like Boolean operations, this could be it, man. This could be the one you really wow the audience with your Boolean options, combining and adding, subtracting, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for those of you watching from home, this is something that does actually happen in the engineering world. Basically what's happening with this 2D print is the customer is saying, I need there to be a certain distance between these holes. I need there to be a certain height from the floor to this hole. And then some of the other geometry becomes dependent on those dimensions. And this is something that absolutely happens in the real world rather frequently. It's not all about having like good, clean angles. So when you see that some of those magenta notes, if you're wondering like, hey, how come there's a question mark on that angle dimension? It's because in the real world, it's not always good, clean angles. A lot of times it's like, just make this thing fit. And I want, these holes need to fit into the other part. So that's what's important. That's the key dimensions for this thing, the functional dimensions. And the rest of the geometry, the bridging, just put it wherever it lands. And there's plenty of times when customers will come to us and say that kind of thing, and we'll say, okay, and then we got to figure it out. They give us a napkin sketch. They say, this is what's important. You figure out the rest of it. And that's kind of the spirit of what's happening with the strolling.
You could almost call it the driving features of the part.
Yeah, the driving features of functional dimensions, the key dimensions, whatever it is you want to call it. That's the kind of situation that can sometimes happen in the real world, and it's good to know. It's good to know kind of how to think through those challenges and how to create a model like this. I think that both of our runners have been in situations like this with their customers, and so I think this is really the perfect part to kind of close out today's episode. This is going to be really, really interesting to see how they come up with, what's ultimately a missing dimension, that angle is not provided. The customer didn't provide that angle. The customer just said, hey, we need this geometry to work.
You see how Ivan's flexing over here?
Mm-hmm.
Like just making his part dance a little bit. He's dragging the geometry, the sketch geometry, making sure that it functions the way he intends it to.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thing. I tell all my students, if you have any blue in your sketch, in your 2D sketch in SolidWorks or Onshape or even Inventor, grab a point, drag it around, see what it's able to do, see which relationships maybe are missing in this sketch. And I can see both the competitors today did that. And it looks like in Tracy, he's now fully defined his sketch.
Yep.
But they're both kind of taking a similar approach. Tracy though has created that circular boss a little ahead of time, I think. But now Ivan's gonna work on that part. It looks like that part of the part.
Yeah, and Ivan, leaving himself with a rectangular boss down at the bottom, we can see in the overlay of this 3D model that's clearly supposed to be cylindrical. So I wonder how he's going to handle that. I wonder if he's going to do some kind of like a machining approach to remove that material, or okay, I see what he's doing here. Okay,
oh, interesting.
Little, I mean, hey, it's
okay,
it works.
Wow, I never.
I would have never thought to do it that way myself, but let's go.
But that's what makes the guy a pro. I mean, he had a strategy. He knew, but he had that in mind when he was going.
I think so. Yeah, I think
that's definitely not an improv. That wasn't an improv feature. It could have been.
Yeah, and we see Tracy Chadwick coming through here. He's got that. He's already got that angled kind of like sloping face going across and down. He's got all that geometry defined. So now it's just a matter of using what looks to me like a layout sketch to kind of fill in with that additional geometry. So
yeah,
this is going to be very, very close. Gary Bruce in the chat saying, hope we see more Alibre in the leaderboard next time. Ex Machina Engineering saying, I have a feeling we will. At Gary Bruce, yes, I agree. Monticello saying, wiggle them sketches. Yep, I wrote a song once about fully defining your sketches. It is on the YouTube channel, and that's one of the things I talk about. Grab a blue point, move it around, see what you end up with.
One of my kids' favorite YouTube videos, Toby. Just so you know.
Wow,
they love that. They love that fully defined sketch song.
You gotta fully define every time. Very, very true.
Okay, what do we got here? It looks like Tracy's adding those holes. He waited to add all his holes, and that's great. All his subtractive features. He's waited. But look at Ivan. He's getting close. He's getting really close. He's just dialing in some of those dimensions.
Striker saying we need a live performance of that song one day, Toby. Yep, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it when we do the live tournament at the Super Sphere, whatever the sphere thing is called. in Vegas. For sure.
There's still time, Toby, for us to get to do some band practice and get a performance ready for November 11th. You know, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh wow. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, Chris is a musician. He and I have jammed together before, and we may be jamming together again. Apparently, we're announcing we're going to be jamming together November 11th. Okay.
Don't you love how I totally preempted you?
Let's go. Yeah, I'm in. I'm always down for a good jam with you, Chris.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, what do we got, Ivan?
Ivan going through, adding those fillets. This is definitely a tough model. A lot of features in this model, and it's going to be up to our runners to figure out what the correct answer is. Ivan coming in with an answer 4957, and that is correct. And wow, what a matchup between Ivan and Chadwick. That was a super difficult part, not easy at all. There was a feature in that model that was really tricky. The feature was that the angle which is missing here, this angle which is missing, in order to get that angle, you have to account for the center to center distance on this hole, the hole that's up top there at 280, the dimension that's up top at 280, and you have to account for some of the other dimensions that are in the front view. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to get that angle. There's a lot of tricky stuff going on with that model. Ivan was able to go through, examine that model, crack that code, and congratulations on a very well-earned victory. That was not an easy model for either of our runners, but really, truly great job to both of our runners. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. And wow, GG to the winner. That was a really tough part. Ivan, Chadwick, really tough for both of you guys. There was, yeah, the models are just going to keep getting tougher and tougher. You guys really had, I think, the bookend of difficulty in your matches. That very first model was a kind of a holdover from the round of 32, a little bit on the easier side. The middle model that you guys did was kind of like starting to get a lot, you know, definitely we're seeing those features, the triple pattern revolve feature, that valve cover, and then that last model, probably the most difficult model that was on the wheel today. So you guys did it. Great job to both of you. Great run from Chadwick here, making it to the round of 16. Congratulations to Ivan, moving on to the Elite 8. Also, congratulations to Victor K, moving on to the Elite 8. Congratulations to Will, making it into the round of 16. We'll be contacting you guys with the information from Alibre so we can get you that seat of Alibre Atom 3D. But awesome job all around. Really good to our runners today. Guys, if you enjoyed this, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to take a screen capture of what we did here today and reshare the link so that other people can see the magic of 3D CAD speed modeling. Super Chat is available, as well as Super Thanks if you're watching in the recording. Shirts are still available in limited quantity on the Too Tall Toby website. GG to both of the runners, really to all of our runners today. We had some really impressive matches all throughout the live stream today. And, oops, sorry guys, I was like inadvertent copy and paste. Don't forget, guys, this Saturday, October 7th, the Sweet 16 continues. So you can visit tootalltoby.com/calendar. You can click on that link, get a link to the recording. We're also going to be going live on Monday. That's also there on the calendar. Monday, 1 p.m., we're going to do Model Monday Live. So if you want to battle it out with the other members of the chat, you can. I'm going to take some of these models that our runners did today, and I'm going to model them using Onshape. So if you want to see the way an expert SolidWorks user struggles through Onshape, that's a good opportunity for you to see that. And we got Jordan Industrial Compaction Services here today. Says, awesome, good job. Thank you very much for that. And let's see here. Check out the YouTube playlist. Next week, guys, Green Bracket sponsored by Revopoint. We're going to see Pranav from India going up against Jaush from the United Kingdom, SolidWorks versus Inventor. And we're going to see Jack Sato from Hawaii going up against Jihan Rafa from Egypt. Onshape versus SolidWorks. So we get some good variety next week. Very excited to see those matchups. 4 different countries next week. That's pretty cool. Truly is a worldwide tournament. Chris, I want to say thank you so much. This is an awesome episode for you to be co-commentating on.
It was really great. I love this. I love these guys. I love the enthusiasm. This is a place to be. Thank you, Toby, for doing this. The world needs you and what you're doing.
Wow.
We love you. My family loves you too. So
wow, thank you. Well, say hi to everyone in your family for me. And yeah, this was pretty epic today. Both the matches went to 3 matches. I mean, what more could we ask for, bro? That's so awesome. So thankful to be here with you today. I love you too. Sorry, I forgot to reciprocate. And just very glad to be here with everybody. Thank you guys all so much to the most amazing chat. Don't forget, chat, that we are going to be back on Monday, Model Monday Live. We're going to start at 1 p.m. We're kind of shifting the start time. I think the 1 p.m. time slot works a little bit better for everybody. And of course, come back on October 7th when the Sweet 16 continues. Be on the lookout today, guys, for the number 14. We talked a lot about 2014. We talked about 14 years experience. Be on the lookout as you go through the day. If you see anything that has the number 14, post it on social media, tag me. I think 14 is going to be a special number today, so be on the lookout. And maybe you go to like somebody's 14th birthday party, or you see that you have like 14 days left until you're going to quit your job, or whatever it is. I don't know. But just be on the lookout for the number 14. I think it's going to be special. And if there's a door that has a number 14, go through it, because it's just a special number today. All right, guys. Chris, thank you. This was awesome. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.